Today I want to follow up on a thought I introduced a couple of weeks ago in the Hello Old Friend video when I said God doesn't take away our pain, He shares it. He actually shares our pain through loving, compassionate, and caring people. I also had the thought, though, that there are a lot of people who don't experience this. You know, there are a lot of people who are walking through perhaps the most painful experience of their lives, and they're doing it alone. So then what? Then what do you do? There's a verse in Proverbs 24 that says, if you faint in the day of your adversity, your strength is weak. I've always interpreted this verse as kind of a warning, like, hey, Corey, you better be prepared for the day of your adversity. It's coming, so be prepared. Be ready. At other times I've read this verse, and I've read it as kind of like a mild rebuke, where, like, if I fainted in the day of my adversity, my strength should have been stronger, right? I should have been stronger about it. Man up, right? Be strong, like God told Joshua to be strong and be courageous. And I think those are all probably fair interpretations of that little passage. But the other day, when I was doing my regular reading time, I came across this verse. And it read completely different to me this time. I saw it in a way I had never seen it before. It read like a matter of fact, like a statement. If you faint in the day of your adversity, your strength is small. That's it. Not a warning, not a rebuke, just an observation that my strength is small. I took it as an acknowledgement of my frailty. I took it as an acknowledgement of my weakness. Yes, there are times when my faith and my strength seem too small for the trial I'm going through. And that's when I need friends to come alongside of me and share their faith and to share their strength and their love and their compassion to help me through my difficult time. My pastor the last couple of weeks has been using this phrase that we sometimes need to lean into our friendships and relationships when we're going through a difficult time. I like that. We need to lean in to those relationships. Can't do it by ourselves. I've worked in the restaurant industry for many years, and It's fun. It's nice, and I get the privilege of getting to walk in the kitchen sometimes and see what the executive chef is up to and what he's whipping up, and see what all the cooks on the line are prepping, and they're all busy chopping things and doing things and cooking things, and every now and then they'll pull out that iron sharpening rod. That long rod that's used to sharpen the knife when the knife needs to be sharpened. And they get the knife and they do that kind of ninja thing, when they sharpen that knife against the steel. And for them, it's like secondhand. They don't even have to think about what they're doing, right? But when you break it down, they know the exact angle to hold that knife at. They know the exact pressure to apply to that knife. And they even know the exact amount of time it takes to get that knife restored. And in the process of doing that, ninja thing, it's going to create some friction, right? It's going to create some heat. We would call it discomfort. Part of the process. When my wife passed away very suddenly, I was like overwhelmed. That's not even a suitable word. I felt like my insides were going to explode. There are times I thought I was going crazy. Really, I thought my mind was just doing crazy things. And then shortly after that, 10 days, matter of fact, after we buried my wife, I got sick. I got sicker. 10 days later after that, I was in the hospital with COVID. And I got pretty sick. When I got out, it was probably another 2 months before I was even just kind of getting back to my feet. And it was during that time I made some on-purpose decisions to be intentional about my relationships, to lean in to my friendships and reach out and build new ones. I know I'm normally, in my normal state, I'm somewhat of an introverted person. But I knew if I went that direction, I was not going to survive this thing. So I leaned in. And I'm sharing all this with you because you may very well be walking through the most difficult, painful experience of your life, and you are doing it alone. And I would encourage you to lean in, be intentional, like the knife, be willing to expose yourself, be willing to expose those nicks and those damaged areas, those woundings, the dulled areas. Be willing to take that contact, be willing to take that friction. I can honestly say that in these last 6 to 8 months, I have found and met more people who have come alongside of me that just walk with me than I have in the last 6 to 8 years. that part of my recovery and my healing has been an incredible experience. You know, there's a lot of other aspects to our healing, but that aspect has been incredible, an incredible provision for me. So today, I'm going to do a Jackson Browne song. It's called For Everyman. And if you don't know, if you're not familiar with Jackson Browne, he's a deep thinking, poetic singer-songwriter. I really like his work a lot. And this particular song, For Everyman, I've liked for the longest time, but I could never quite put my finger on why I liked it. I couldn't quite understand the meaning of the song. It kind of eluded me. And then the other day, it hit me. He keeps coming back to this line of waiting here for every man. And I realize he's making a deep appeal and a need to connect with other people. He even expresses some fear in the song when he says, what happens if he doesn't show? What happens at the end of this process? I'm just left with holding sand. Then what? My response to that would be, we can't wait for another person to show. We need to go out and be proactive. We need to lean in. And another expression my pastor uses is, we need to build thicker relationships. Even when we disagree on certain things, we still need to be able to build thicker relationships. For iron to sharpen iron, it's going to require some exposure. It's going to require some contact. And it's going to result in some heat and friction, or what we would call discomfort. So I'm going to do For Everyman today, and I hope when you hear the song it will remind you we need to be intentional. Can't wait for every man. We need to go out there and risk being vulnerable, risk even being rejected. But I believe at the end, you will be blessed. So here's Jackson Browne's For Every Man. Everybody I talk to is ready to leave with the light of the moon. They've seen the end coming down on them to believe that they've heard their last one. Standing alone, each has his own ticket in his hand. Thinking about every man. just waiting to hear from the one who can give them the answers. Lead them back to that place in the warmth of the sun, where sweet childhood still dances. And who'll come along and hold out that strong but gentle father's hand. Long ago I heard someone say something about Everyman, waiting here for Everyman. Make it on your own, make it if you think you can. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. I'm not trying to tell you that I've seen the plan. Turn and walk away if you think I am. But don't think too badly of one who's left holding sand. He's just another dreamer, dreaming about Everyman. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope this song encourages you to lean into those relationships you do have and to be on purpose about building some new ones. Until next time.